Hello, everybody, and welcome to this live stream. Very excited to be joining you here today. I'll give folks just a couple minutes here to file in. But in the meantime, really excited to be doing another one of these again. We had a really great response to our previous live stream. So kind of getting in a regular cadence of, doing this every month, and especially when we do our big updates. And that's typically once a month we'll publish our release notes. And yeah, really excited to have you all here. Feel free as I go through this product update. Let me know what questions you have, if there's specific ways you want to learn about using Motion.io, things that I can help with. I would love to. It makes it a lot more engaging for me and super fun. So yeah, don't hesitate to chime in with your questions. In case you don't know, my name is Sam Chlebowski. I am one of the co-founders of Motion.io here. And we've been building this product for nearly 2 years, and it's come a long way. I think this latest release is a really, really great example of that. So yeah, we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff here today. And if you'll just give me 1 second, I will go ahead and get my screen share here going. And also, got to make sure that this is on Instagram. I use StreamYard for this, and Instagram has this weird workaround where you have to publish the stream to Instagram, and it just gave me a notice that it wasn't working. So just got to do that here again real quick. Okay, and we should be good to go there. So yeah, welcome everybody. Really great to have you with us. As I'd mentioned, feel free to chime in with your questions as we kind of go through this update. And what I'll show you here now is let's go ahead and just take a quick peek at our release notes for this latest update, because there's a lot of cool stuff here. And there's some smaller things that, are really important updates, but they don't get some of the major announcement and celebration as some of our larger features do, but they're super important. So these are our release notes for May of 2024. We've added a lot of cool things. And we'll be talking about all of this today. Automations, our new team Helpdesk view, customizable file folders, and then some of these smaller things, these improvements and quality of life updates that are so important to the product and making it more usable, more accessible to both team members and clients. And we're going to be covering all of that. So let's go ahead and let's start things off by talking a little bit about our automations in Motion.io. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share a development account that I have here at Motion.io. So if any of this looks a little bit different, don't worry, I'll explain that a little bit later, because there is a new feature in here I'll be talking about more at the end of this stream. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into automations. So automations we announced previously, we actually covered automations in the previous live stream that we did. But with our automations, there's been some cool new things that we've added to this since we released sort of the initial version of our automations that allow you to build these workflows in Motion.io, where if a task is completed, you can kick off the next task. If a project stage is completed, you can do things like get notified. We have a full guide out about automations. It's up on our YouTube channel. I'll actually go ahead and share that here in the chat if you're interested in learning more about that, because we won't go into all of the details there. But I do want to share a really cool thing that we've done and that we've added to automation since then. And here's that link to that video. I went ahead and posted that in the channel here. But with automations, what we've actually done is added this really cool automation trigger that allows you to automatically activate all of the tasks in one of your project templates. And what this enables you to do is when you have a template that you want to use, what I can say through automations is click here, go to automations, and now I have this additional option where I can activate a stage within a project template when a project is created from this template. And this was something that was actually requested by our users. It wasn't something we came up with. We were hearing folks tell us, hey, like it would be really great. I know I can create projects from templates, but it'd be really great if I could automatically assign either some of the tasks in that template or all of the tasks in that template when I create a new project. And that's exactly what this new trigger event titled "The Project is Created" right here allows you to do. So it's a really simple way to be able to get a client onboarded in seconds. And so, for example, let me go ahead and show you what this looks like when I actually use it. So I added this automation here to the onboarding stage. And let's say, I don't want to kick off any of these other stages just yet. I want to limit my sort of initial project and the task clients have access to these right here. What I can do is I'm going to go ahead back to my project dashboard. I'm going to create a project from this template. Select that template I modified. Let's just call this example for the sake of examples. And then what will happen is these tasks will automatically get activated, and the client will be able to see them in their client portals. That said, with this automation, you'll still have to assign clients to these tasks and add them to the project. But what you can do using this is if you've set up an external Zapier automation that activates a project when a form is filled out, for example, within that new Zapier automation that you set up, you can auto assign clients to this as well. And we've actually made some big improvements to our Zapier integration that make this process a lot more streamlined. So I'll go ahead and actually show you this, because this is one of the things that was also included in our most recent product update were these updates to our Zapier actions and triggers that allow you, and actually I'll take a step back. The way that it previously worked with Zapier, if you wanted to create new projects, you either assigned all tasks in the project to the clients you were adding to that project when it was created, and activate them all at once. With this, and the changes we've made to Zapier, you can now simply assign those tasks without activating them, and then let Motion.io handle that part. So a quick example of how you can do this in Motion.io, and I'm going to go ahead and share my Zapier account here. So let's, just for the sake of example, say I wanted to kick off a new project whenever a person, a lead, whatever that may be, fills out a form in Fillout. What I can do here, and let's just use, I think I have one here. Yeah, my lead form, perfect. So great, that lead form, when it's filled out, what I can do is I'll go ahead and add an action in Motion.io, this latest version here. And I'll go ahead and say create a project. Choose my account here. What I can do with the Zapier action now is I can specify a portal template. So like if I wanted to use this website design project template, I can add a name. So if I wanted to map this, for example, this is just a sample submission, but if I wanted to name this, the client's name to autofill that, and then website design project, I could do that. I can assign a project owner here as well. And then you'll see that I can go ahead and toggle this immediately assign tasks to clients. So if I toggle that on true, what this will do is when this fill out form is submitted, it will create this project. It'll invite the clients to it. I didn't add a client email here, but I'll just do that really quickly. And then once this Zap fires, it will auto-assign the tasks in my template to those clients, and then Motion.io will take care of the activation of those tasks. So I'm going to go ahead back to my Motion.io account here. And quickly show you what this looks like. So with this Zapier automation, the project was created by Zapier after that fill out form was submitted, and then these tasks were automatically assigned to this client that got added, which is Sarah, and then activated using Motion.io's internal automation tool. So you can kind of see how these pieces can really fit together and help you totally streamline and totally automate your client onboarding process, where you don't even have to think about it. If someone fills out a form, if a client makes a payment, you can have that project created, you can invite them to it, you can assign them tasks, all on the back end without you having to lift a finger. So that kind of covers it for like our major updates to automations. As I'd mentioned, there is a link in the chat here if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, to a YouTube video that covers automations in details. Next, I wanted to go ahead and let's talk about our new team help desk view. So this is also something that we covered previously. We touched on it just a little bit in our last live stream. I actually don't think it was even live at that point, but it is now. This team help desk view, what it allows you to do is see all of your tickets across all of your various projects in Motion.io. So what I'll go ahead and do is let me open a project, and I'm just going to submit a support ticket like I was a client. And I'm going to do this in a separate tab. It's going to be super quick, so I won't bother showing you that. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is submit this ticket. And I'm just going to enter some kind of silly fake details here. So I submitted a ticket as a client, kind of off camera there. And what you can see now here is that in this help desk tab, I can click into this and quickly see, oh, hey, there's a new ticket. Great. Let me go ahead and I'm going to assign that to my other team member, Sarah Smith. Once this is completed, Sarah could toggle this closed, but she can also communicate with the person that submitted it, which in this case was Sunny Baker, and upload files, communicate back and forth really easily until this ticket is ready to be closed. So I just showed one example of a ticket being submitted, but any support tickets submitted across any of your various projects in Motion.io will show up here. And then you're also able to look back on closed tickets and then the tickets that are in progress and assigned. So I wanted to kind of cover this quickly in case there's anybody new here tuning in that wasn't familiar with this functionality. If you've been using this help desk view, would love to know your thoughts, feedback, any questions you have. Feel free to throw those in the chat. I will respond to any questions we get here live. So excited to hear, what you all think. Next up, what I want to talk about is our new customizable file folders. And this is something we haven't really mentioned previously. If you're subscribed to our newsletter, we sent out an announcement about this, but we didn't cover it in any of our previous videos or live streams. And it's a really cool feature. So what I'm going to do to show you how this works is let me go ahead into this example project that I've created. One of the things that we heard from our users is that, hey, the file management in Motion.io, it's great, it works amazing, but what I would really love to do is to be able to organize these folders, rename that, and have sort of control of what my client sees in their client portal. So this is a brand new addition that you can totally be able to customize your file folders for your clients. And you see, if you've signed up for a trial recently or you have a Motion.io account, we actually have this information up top explaining that. But what you can do now here is, if you look here at my screen, you'll see that you have 3 folders here. You have an all files folder, a client portal folder, and deleted. Deleted, that's pretty self-explanatory. The all files tab here, any files shared throughout the project will automatically be placed in here. And this all files folder is only accessible to you and your team members. What you can do for your clients, however, is in their portal, you have complete control over the file names and folders inside of this client portal area. So for example, if I want to add a new folder, I could call this something like brand assets. And, maybe even add another folder. Let's call this campaign creative, because let's say that this is for a like a digital advertising campaign. I'll call this campaign creative. If I wanted to, I could also even rename the primary folder. I could change this to, client files, for example. So with this, what I can do from here is now I'm going to go ahead and invite myself to this project. Or actually, I'll go back to the Files tab here. And I'm just going to upload some files. And I have these sort of example campaign creative that I've been using for like videos and stuff. It's kind of funny with this product. When I'm showing how it works, recording YouTube videos, taking screenshots, I really like to have it look like, even if I'm creating these things, I want it to look like real client projects. So I'm often creating these kind of things to use. And this is an example of just like ad creative for, maybe Facebook or Instagram or something like that. And I'm going to go ahead and upload another file here. Let's say that this was just a team logo that was uploaded. As I mentioned, all of the files in this all files area are accessible to you and your team members only. But let's say I wanted to make these accessible to my clients in their folders and in one of those folders that I customized for them. All I got to do is select which files I want. So for this logo file, I'm going to go ahead and copy it to the brand assets folder. For this ad creative image, I'm going to go ahead and copy this to that campaign creative folder. What you'll be able to see now is when I go to the portal tab and I click this preview button here, in the files area, it's just those files, those folders that I customize. So there's my client files, and then there's the brand assets, the campaign creative. It's all here, very easy to access for the client. And yeah, they are able to, get the information they need in seconds. So I see that we had a couple of questions come in, and I'm going to go ahead and respond to those. This is from the team at Amy Creatives, and they're asking, can you make some folders private or all viewable by the client? So that is a really great question. The way that you would make your files like hidden from the client is just leave it in this all files area. Only these folders that are in the client files are going to be accessible to the clients in their portal. You could just leave these files here, not do anything with them if you didn't want them to be visible to the client. And even if the client uploads folders, in the example that I showed you, it was me as an account admin uploading those files. But if a client had uploaded files, they'll also get filtered into this all files area. And you'll actually have to do the same process to add those files to the folders you want clients to have access to. If you were asking, maybe a quick clarification for the team there, are you looking to basically have client folders that you can also hide from clients and maybe like show them at a later time. If that's what you were asking, that's not currently possible, but let me know if you want to clarify a little bit more. I'm happy to respond to that in more detail. Rodney asks, can I add folders inside the all files area, or is it only client files? So Rodney, great question. With the all files area, we have an approach here at Motion.io that what this does, and the reason why you can't rename them, to first of all answer your question, the reason why you can't rename them is because this works through, basically it names the files in the way that they were uploaded. So for example, with direct uploads, they get a direct uploads folder created for them. If a client is going to upload files, and let's just say, let me go ahead and upload some files as a client to just show you how this works. I'll go ahead here and I'm going to open a incognito window because that's like kind of the easiest way to toggle back and forth between being a client and an admin for me. But I'm going to go ahead and share this tab so I can show you what I'm doing. So this is the client's view of a task that asks them to upload some brand assets. So I'm going to go ahead and I have this brand guidelines thing here. I have a logo file. Whoops. I have a logo file here. So cool. I uploaded those. I'm going to mark that as complete. And then let's head back to my Motion.io admin account. And what you'll see is that when I created that file request for my client, I set up these file collections that automatically group them into folders. So there is kind of a way to rename these folders in here. This file collection request that I had two different sort of categories that I was asking for, the brand guidelines and then the logos. And what Motion.io does is it groups these files for you automatically, like I mentioned, in the way that they were uploaded, so you can quickly reference back to all of the files that were uploaded throughout the project and where to put them. So with the brand guidelines that this client uploaded, what I can then do is if I wanted the client to have access to this directly in their portal, I could go ahead and click the campaign creative. Actually, I should really add that to the brand assets folder. So I added that to the brand assets folder, and you can see it here. Because I accidentally added it to the campaign creative folder as well, it's also important to point out that if you do add things to your client folders, you can very quickly remove them, but it won't affect that file in your sort of team files area. And maybe we should rename this just to make it a little bit clear that these are team only accessible files. But yeah, you can see the brand guidelines is still here, but it has been removed from that brand assets folder that the client has access to. A couple more questions. We have a question coming from, not sure how to pronounce this name, Saylerg, maybe? Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. And that is, can a file added to a task be added to a specific client folder automatically? So that's a really good question. And quite frankly, it's a really great idea. That's not something we have the ability to do quite yet. But after hearing that suggestion, that's something that I think is definitely worth us considering doing. So that I think what you're asking is basically like, hey, if I'm asking for this type of file, let's say it's brand guidelines, I always want it to go to the brand guidelines folder throughout my project. And I think that that's a really interesting and compelling idea. So yeah, we'll be talking about that one. I'm going to make a note of that to discuss with my team here. Another question from Rodney, can you have security levels in the client portal so some members of the client can see them and some can be blocked? So not currently, Rodney. There is we don't have a concept of security levels, but let me show you something, because there is a way to sort of do this within your portals already. And one thing I want to touch on before diving into this actually is our new portal page editor. And this is a part of our most recent update. So what we've done with this portal page editor is we've really given it a complete overhaul. The way that you used to edit the pages of your client portals was by clicking a link on the right side of your screen here. And it kind of took you to a separate view that was a little bit removed from this top navigation bar here. We've really streamlined things, brought the portal editor back into here. And the reason why I want to show you this is there is a way to hide and show aspects of your client portals. Unfortunately, there isn't a way to do it on a client by client basis, but using this portal page editor, you do have the option to hide specific pages. So for example, let's say this project was still in flight and I didn't want my client to have access to the help desk yet. I could toggle this off and it would no longer be viewable to my clients in their portal. And then what I could do is I could actually set up an automation that, let's say, once the project was completed, I wanted to show this page. Or sorry, once a stage was completed, I wanted to show this stage. And let's say after the campaign launch stage was finished, I could automatically make this help desk page become accessible to my client. So I know that wasn't exactly the way that you were describing, what you were looking for, but I think that is somewhat of a workaround that allows you to do that, allows you to give clients access to things at the right time. It's also important to note that you can remove individual clients from a project at any point, so they'd no longer have access to that portal. So for example, let's say I was developing a website, and after that website went live, there were certain team members who weren't really going to be involved, but one of those team members was going to be responsible for ongoing updates to it. I could remove all of those other users and just have that one person who was responsible for updating the website and wanting to submit help desk tickets. I could give them access to that and be able to have them get access to the things they need, but not give everybody access to the things that they don't. And is that portal specific? Thanks for the follow-up question. So this is portal specific, but everything that I just showed you can also be done at the template level. And I'm going to go ahead into this digital advertising template that I walked through briefly a little bit earlier. And you'll see when I click that same portal option at the top, I have the exact same options. So I could customize these things. I could, show and hide this portal page. I can add automations. And when I create a new project from this template, all of these things will automatically get pulled into any new projects that I create from this template. So using templates like this, it's a really effective way to create different workflows that are project specific and have slight differences between them. Another great question from the team at Amy Creatives. Is there a feature coming to also add file links such as Google Docs, Google Sheets into the folder? So there is a way to do that currently in Motion.io. It's a little bit different from what you're describing, but you can do this through your portal pages. So this works with Google Docs, Google Sheets. You can even do Google Drive folders for this. And I'll include a couple of links here in the chat that explain how to do this in detail. But let's say I wanted to embed a Google Doc. I'm just going to name this Google Doc. I'm going to go ahead, customize that icon. And then I'm going to grab a Google Doc link. This is just kind of a sample document I use quite a bit to show folks that I'm demoing and during support calls how to do this. But let's go ahead and I'm going to grab this link here. So I'll grab that link, head back to my Motion.io account, and I'm going to go ahead and just paste that link that I copied into this app embed code window here. So I'll go ahead and click save. And what you can see now, and also another cool thing about the improvements to the portal page editor that we've made, is we now have this preview option here. Previously, it was kind of clunky trying to preview a portal or a portal page as a client, where you had to like copy their magic link and paste it into another window. We have totally simplified that. So now if you're editing a client portal, in this example, I'm editing one of my templates. I can just click preview here. And then I can see that, cool, my Google Doc has been embedded directly into this portal page. And the same way that, I can show and hide things like the files tab or the welcome area, I can also, toggle this on and off, and then create automations to show it at specific times. Another great example of the way that you can use this portal page editor and embed different things is, let's say instead of a Google Doc, I wanted a Google Data Studio. And I'll just call this Google Data Studio report. It's also called Looker Studio, but it seems like everybody still calls it Google Data Studio, so that's kind of just what I call it. And I'm going to go ahead and grab a link just to show you kind of how flexible these portal pages are and what you can do with them. So, and just give me 1 second. Looker Studio is being just a little bit slow here. But I'll go ahead and paste this embed code that I copied from Google Data Studio in here. And it works a very similar way where I am able to embed this reporting dashboard, have my clients access it. And let's go ahead and just do one last thing here. I'm actually going to change this URL just to show you a better example of a report. So as you can see here, I pulled in this Search Console report, and this is another great example of something that you can do that's a really powerful way to embed things, connect other tools. Anything within the Google Suite, like I mentioned, can all be embedded directly in your portal pages. And this is a really great example of that. We have another question from Greg. Thanks for clarifying your name. I only see like your last name. I think it's like a username thing on YouTube. I would love to see a status upcoming that would allow clients to view the task before it becomes active. This would allow them to see what's upcoming for the full processes stages coming up. So, Greg, I think that's a really great idea. The idea of like sort of an upcoming stage isn't something that we have currently as a task status in Motion.io. But one thing that I will show you, in case you're not using them already, is you do have the ability to create internal tasks in your Motion.io projects. And what you might consider doing with these internal tasks is you could even create a task that was internal called upcoming tasks. Here's what you can look forward to in the next phase of the project. And then you would put, thing 1, thing 2. And this is an internal task, so it makes it clear to the client that it isn't something that they are responsible for, but they'll be able to see this in their project portal. And let's go ahead and then just preview this portal now that I've created that internal task. So you can see that there's these couple of tasks here, and 2 of them are internal. So this upcoming tasks, the client can know, hey, here's what I can look forward to. That said, this is kind of a workaround. I think that what you are suggesting is probably a more streamlined way to do it. I could definitely see us adding a status for upcoming in future iterations of the product. We're also doing some major improvements to internal tasks in general, which is something I wanted to just note very briefly. We have some really cool things planned, like the ability to hide internal tasks completely from clients, and then be able to have either sort of checklists that your team can check off that the client doesn't have access to, and private discussion areas. So things like that. We are going to be expanding on our internal task functionality. So I think that that's a good way to do that for now. But like I said, that's definitely something I could see us adding here in the future. And then one other note too, I know I showed 2 examples in the portal page editor of adding a Google Doc and then a Google Looker Studio report. But you can also embed Google Drive folders here directly. I'm not going to do that now because it does take just a little bit more work, and I don't want to, sort of fumble around with trying to do that live, but it is something that you can do. I'll go ahead and link a helpful document here that we have on embedding Google Drive folders. I'll send that out here in the chat before we move on to our next topic here. So here's that link for you in case you are interested in embedding your Google Drive folders into a portal or into a project. So for the next thing, I want to share with you all, and please keep the questions coming. We've had a lot of great ones. I would love to know, what other questions you have, what I can help with. I'm here for you for this entire hour. So, but next, I want to talk about a brand new feature that is coming to Motion.io. And we had talked about the improved portal page editor already. So I have this as a banner, but we're going to move past that because I showed you that. The bonus new feature that we are very excited to release is, you can probably see it already because I'm in a development account, is our new team level chat view. So we already have a similar concept of a team level view for Helpdesk submissions, but in this next update, which should be live within, I would say, a week or less, it's probably going to be only just a couple of days from now. But what we're doing is we're adding the ability to have new chat messages and existing chats all show in a centralized dashboard. And this is going to make it much, much easier for you to be able to manage your chats. And I see someone from the team at Amy Creative says they're so excited about this, have been waiting on this. Yes, we are very excited about it too. We are so excited to be able to offer this. Definitely going to share those kind words with our CTO, Zach. He's been hard at work on this thing, and it's just something that I think is going to make the chat feature of Motion.io so much more useful, because the way that it operated previously, for anybody just tuning in or new to Motion.io, is you had to go into each individual project to see new chat messages and respond to chats. With this new team level view, however, that totally eliminates the need to do it, where you can see a chat. For example, somebody from Sunny Sandoz asks a question, and I can respond. Tab of your, oops. So I can go ahead and respond. I can add emojis to that. Just telling them, hey, you can view your campaign performance on the reporting tab of your portal. I can also attach things if I wanted to. I can even send like voice memos through this if I wanted. So it's really cool. But yeah, what will happen with this new feature is you'll see a notification of new chat messages and then a list of all active chats. If you archive a project, it will not display here, but you can always go back into the project itself and look at that. But any chats in active projects that you've set up, you will be able to see here. You can even quickly toggle between them. So a really effective way to communicate with your clients and really just makes using this chat feature so much easier. So we're really excited to be offering this. And like I said, this is going to be live in just a couple of days. Will there be a feature coming where you can reply back to an email that is sent directly and then it will get sent into the chat instead of to a email address? It's another great question. This is something that we've actually had in our development roadmap now for a little while. It's been something that we weren't really sure where it fits into the sort of priorities. For a little bit of like an insider look behind the scenes, development, we really have to like prioritize specific things at certain times. So for example, like this chat view, that was something we had a lot of people asking for. So it was something that we really prioritized, but we listened to suggestions. So, if you in the audience watching this webinar, you're saying like, this would be a feature that I would like. It definitely bumps it up in our priority list the more we hear people asking for it. But the long story short is it's something that we've thought about. It's something that I believe we will do. We just don't know when yet. And I think that that's it's a smart idea. And it's a really flexible idea. One of the ways we're thinking about accomplishing that is through a Zapier integration. So for example, you could send new messages to your various chats. And that might actually be the way that we do this, where if you respond to an email in, let's say, your Gmail inbox, the content of your response can automatically be zapped to a specific chat in Motion.io. And I would love to hear in your specific case for the team at Amy Creatives, if that's like something that would be usable for you, that sort of Zapier integration where you could respond, it would zap that to a chat window, because that's something that's like a pretty light lift for us, as opposed to building it in directly. But yeah, would love to hear that if that would be something that would be a cool idea for you. So that really does it for like most of the major features of this product update. And we're really excited to be releasing this new chat view. It's something, if you are subscribed to our newsletter, we will definitely be letting you know about as soon as it goes live. We're still in the process of doing some QA, doing some testing there, but it is going to be something that we are really excited to push live in just a couple days here. Another question from Greg, is there a client notifications setting on the roadmap? So Greg, short answer is yes. That is something that we want to do within the coming months and sort of later in the year. One thing that we are really going to be prioritizing is our different sort of roles, permissions, notification settings across Motion.io accounts. That means both on the team member side, but then also on the client side. It's something that we have heard that people want a little bit more granular control of. But a couple of important things to mention about client notifications right now is that for tasks in your Motion.io projects, clients are only going to receive notifications about the tasks that they are assigned to. So for example, like let's take a look at one of these projects where I know I have a few different people assigned. So in this project, I have Sunny Baker here assigned to a couple tasks, and then I have Mariah assigned to a few other in this onboarding stage. Because Mariah is not assigned to this task, she's not going to receive any notifications about it. Only Sunny, who is assigned to the task, is going to receive those reminder emails, is only going to receive like a notification about that task. On the other hand, these tasks for scheduling a kickoff call and uploading brand assets, they'll both be notified about that. So you can kind of control how many notifications your clients are receiving by paying attention to basically who's assigned a task and who's not. One other cool thing that I wanted to mention about the way that we handle notifications is we did just add a new piece of functionality that if you are tagged in a comment, and this can happen in a task, it can happen in a help desk ticket, it can happen in a chat message, but like if I would tag Sonny Baker here in this chat, we've now set the @mention notifications to send an instant email notification. So for this notification, they're not going to be notified of this instantly. It's just going to be included in a daily digest email for them. But if I tag them, they're going to be notified immediately that I sent them a new message in their portal. And like I said, this works in chat, but it also works when you might be commenting on a task. So I could do this again and say, hey, this time, Sonny Baker, do you have any questions? Because I tagged them in that comment, even though it was on a task and not in a chat message, they're going to receive an instant notification email about that. And great to hear that that's awesome for you and that's going to work. Comment from Ben, I just made it to the stream. Can you start over for me? Ben, sorry I can't run it all the way back to the beginning, but I am pleased to let you know after the stream is done, a full recording of it automatically goes up on YouTube, Facebook, as well as LinkedIn and Twitter, I believe. So head there to see a full version of it starting from the beginning. But in the meantime, would love to answer any questions that you have if you're just tuning in. So let me know. I've kind of gotten through all of the major stuff that I wanted to share with you today. And yeah, if anybody has questions about using Motion.io, about our new features, would love to help out in any way I can in our last 10 minutes here. So some other things in the meantime to just touch on some of the various improvements we've made to Motion.io over the past month. One of the updates was what I just shared, was those @mention notifications. Another cool thing that we now do is we've also changed our sort of flow, if you will, for file approvals. If you're not familiar with the way that file approvals work in Motion.io, it's basically you can create a task for your client and you can toggle on this attach files option. And you can either just attach files or you can send them off to your clients for approval. So I'm going to show you how this works by going ahead and uploading a ad creative image. So I uploaded this and I'm going to do just one more. Let's do some video ad creative, and then let's upload just a sample file to kind of show you here. And this is just a logo, but I'm showing it to you for the sake of example. So the way that this file approval process used to work is you would either toggle on an option here, on or off, and you had to set all of the files as approval files or none of them. Now, with the way that we've changed this flow, you can go ahead and toggle select files that you want approval on, and then any files that you just want to simply attach, you can leave that unchecked and just leave them as attached files to the task. So after I save this, let's go ahead and just show you what it looks like quickly. And this is an exact view of what the client will see. You'll see that the one file I attached, saved as an attachment up there. And then you'll see that this video or this image here, this ad creative, the client can comment on it. This looks great. They can also mark it as approved. So if it was good to go, just click approve. And then there's also the video. This is still processing, so we would have to come back here in just a couple minutes. I could even try and just like refresh now though to show you what this looks like here. Let's see. Still not processing. Sometimes the videos take a little bit longer to process just because they have to upload. But you can also use this file approval process for videos, PDFs, really any type of file that you want to have clients, give approval on, or you want to attach to tasks. Another question from Ben. I just emailed you about this. I'm digging into my account today to learn about how to integrate this into my law firm's onboarding process. I imagine, Ben, our team already sent you a calendar link, but if they didn't, feel free to email me at sam@motion.io. We're happy to set up a time to speak with you one-on-one live. And that also goes for anybody else in the chat who might have questions. Feel free to email me. We can get you set up with one of our team members here, and we'll walk through your account, help you get things set up. We really love providing that kind of onboarding support for our customers, because if we can help you use motion.io and get a solid foundation in place, it's going to mean that you're using our product for a long time. And that's the best thing to us, because we've been building this thing and taking user feedback, and we really just want to make the best possible platform for client work. And that spans many different industries, whether you are a marketing agency, a law firm like yourself, Ben, a landscaper, even a construction company. We have a few construction companies using us. Anybody that does this type of client-facing work, these client projects, we want to be the tool that helps you streamline that communication, keep those projects moving, and help your team eliminate those manual tasks from your workflows, so you have more time to be able to spend that extra 15 minutes connecting with a customer, meeting clients outside of the office or whatever it may be. We want to help you do that. We want to help you get there, so you're not having to run around and do all of these manual things with your clients, and delight each customer you work with ultimately. And great to hear that you love what we're building. Question from Rodney. On the Helpdesk ticket, can I change the default text at the top to request a specific format for submitting a ticket? Yes, Rodney, great question. That's actually something I can't believe I haven't covered yet. With your Helpdesk in motion.io, you have complete flexibility to customize these any way you want. And the way that you would do that is if you go to the Forms tab here, and you'll have to excuse all of these sample forms that I've created. This is an account I sometimes use for testing because it is on our development environment. So there's, just a couple of example forms there we were using to test things. Let's call this create a support ticket. What I can do is using motion.io's drag and drop builder is I can customize this form however I'd like. So I'm going to keep this simple. Name. And then let's go ahead and do long text field for message. And then we'll just do like a radio buttons for, are you a active customer? Yes. No. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and save this form. So I just created that from scratch. I could have added as many fields as I wanted to this. But what I can do that now that this form is saved, let me go ahead into one of my templates, because I think that this is where this works best. I'm going to go ahead and edit this template. So I'm going to click the portal tab here at the top, go into my Helpdesk tab. And then what I'll do here is I can just click that button there, and I'm going to go ahead and I can change what Helpdesk form this portal is using. So what did I call that one? New. Oh, here we go. Cool. So I can change this Helpdesk form to be whatever I want. And the way that you do that is by editing a specific project or a project template. The reason why I typically suggest editing what Helpdesk form is used at the template level is because then every time you would create a project from your template, so in this case, this digital advertising template, every time I create a project from this template, that Helpdesk form that I created and added will automatically be used in the portal. And additional clarification from Ronnie looking to use the Helpdesk function for submitting continuous improvement tickets. Yeah, that is a perfect thing to use this for, especially now that we have this team level Helpdesk view, because it means that, if you have just one person on your team that's managing tickets, great. They have access to everything across the projects in your account. You can assign things to them. They can quickly knock out those tickets, and you can make those updates for clients. So yeah, and I hope that this also answered your question about changing some of that default text, because yes, you can change all of that, and there's a ton of flexibility to adapt the Helpdesk, as with all of the features and functionality in Motion.io, to your specific use case, your specific needs. So everyone, this has been great connecting with you. Thank you so much, everybody, for the questions. As I had mentioned, I'm planning to do this at least once a month. Definitely when we do like a major product update and publish release notes, I'll be doing this. If you'd like to see me more often and want these kind of live streams more than once a month, just let me know. Shared my email in the chat. Also, a couple of helpful links to just share quickly before I go. If you have not checked it out yet, the Motion.io knowledge base has a ton of great resources for anything you might need help with the product. Every single article in our help desk is personally created by me. And so just to let you know kind of who's behind those, because I think it's funny sometimes. But yeah, there's a ton of great things in there about automations, about editing portal pages, and just using some of these more advanced features of Motion.io. As well, we also have a page on our website that provides a list of integrations. There are way more things you can integrate with Motion.io besides what is listed here, but the major ones that we get requests for are all listed on this integrations page of our website. And there's detailed setup instructions there. So yeah, go ahead and check those out. Also, if you're not a Motion.io user, feel free to head to our website, sign up for a free trial. Our website is very simply just Motion.io. Type it into your browser. We'd love to have you test it out and let us know what you think. Until then, everybody, this has been really great. Thank you all so much again for the questions and taking this time out of your day to hang out with me. Looking forward to seeing you again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.